Hey guys, how's it going? Jujubear here. Welcome back to the channel. And welcome back to the latest battle that I played. Myself as the Massilians. And my enemy over there as the Boii. A pretty epic view over here. Now this battle was a large funds, I believe. So I don't tend to play these battles so often, just because I know that I'm not that good with the micro, and it just seems to be a little bit more about broad strokes, whereas I'm more into, as most of you guys may know already, I'm more into the small funds game types, where you kind of, a game can be decided in a good army pick, or you know, a really nice rear charge, or that kind of thing.
Quickly now.
So this game will be interesting. Like I'm always open to doing things that I'm not usually doing and trying different things. So this is a bit different for me. So on my flanks I've got Tarantine Cav, one Tarantine and one Skirmisher. You can see I've pushed them up and I'm trying to harass my enemies. Just going to put it in slow motion here. Harass my enemies' Cav formation. So he's got two of these detachments. And they're made up of 2 heavy horse and 1 levy freeman. My opponent also has axe warriors on the flanks. Oh no, he doesn't. 1 axe warrior there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sword followers. 2 axe warriors and 2 Celtic warriors in no apparent formation there. Oathsworn, levy freeman, Oathsworn up the back, 3 Celtic bowmen. And that's his entire army composition there. So my army's made of 2 layers. I've got 4 of these Celtic warriors at the front as meat shields. I'm hoping to break up any charges that he can throw against me, and then follow up with some Massilian hoplites. These units are actually quite good. Have a good melee attack and charge bonus for a hoplite unit, and they do carry the elite spear, I think, which gives them, I think it's like 8 armor piercing or something like that. And on my flanks I've got axe warriors, so fairly simple formation, nothing too crazy, just because I know that I am pretty bad at microing, so not really giving myself too much to think about there. So you can see I am harassing pretty well with my Tarantine Cav and my Skirmisher Cav, getting very crucial kills on these heavy horse here. I've also got these 2 Massilian Cav on the flanks, backed up by a levy freeman of my own. Now my opponent's going to close the gap. I was happy to just stand up here on the hill and get my charges downhill. My opponent, being a good sport, has moved up his units, and he's going to present a line to me. He does have a very spaced out army, which could work out against him. Oh yeah, you can see I've kind of like threaded the gap with my Skirmisher Cav up through here. And I'm going to go straight for his Celtic bowman, maybe get some shots into the back of his Oathsworn, that kind of thing. So my Skirmisher Cav and my Tarantine Cav are proving to be quite a nuisance for him. So at this point he's going to close the gap, and at the last few minutes or few seconds I'm going to start issuing charge orders, because I am getting these downhill charges with my own Celtic warriors. So Celtic against sword, Celtic against sword, Celtic against sword, and Celtic against sword. So I'm probably not going to do too well on those engagements, but when I do back up with my own units, I'll do quite well. My Massilian Cav coming down here for a downhill charge, getting quite a lot of kills there, 8 to 10. They do have double XP chevrons, so they'll be doing quite well there. So down by 10 men these Celtic warriors are, and then I'm going to back them up with Massilian hoplites and levy freemen and axe warriors and all sorts of things. So his sword followers did manage to destroy my Celtic warriors fairly easily, actually. Didn't expect that. So across the board, I'm going to have to reinforce with my Massilian hoplites a more stable or stable unit. So I'm getting charges in with my Massilian cavalry just to weaken up various targets around the battlefield. And it looks like I'm gearing up for a rear charge at this point, but we'll see if I take that opportunity. I'm popping my Massilian hoplites into Hoplite Wall, which gives them a bonus against, I think it's a bonus against infantry and melee defense as well. So rear charge into this, whatever it is, Celtic warrior, is that enough to kill it off? I should really be bringing my Levy Freeman in here to get these heavy horse, because he's going to send both of them in, including his general. My skirmisher cav are getting into his skirmishers and just destroying them, being a bit of a nuisance at this point. And I'm going to get some pretty nice charges in with my Massilian Hoplites to destroy that Levy Freeman. And all across the board, it looks like my engagements are going pretty well for me. My own Axe Warriors are beating his Axe Warriors. These Sword Followers are beginning to crumble after 2 different engagements with a fairly crappy unit and then a fairly sturdy unit. So we've got Sword Follower being destroyed by a Massilian Hoplite here. Put him into Hoplite Wall. He is reinforcing with an Oathsworn here, so I'm going to have to be careful that he doesn't destroy my general. He's pulling out his heavy horse, but I've already won this flank, so I'm going to probably chase him off with a combination of Levy Freeman and Massilian Cavalry over here. Yeah, my Skirmisher Cav getting lots of kills. Really surprised that they've been able to hold up this long, actually. Because they are horrible in melee combat. So it looks like he's going to get charged into my own Massilian Cav, but I do get a last minute counter charge. Rear charge in here, kind of like an awkward flank charge here into his Levy Freeman. Total War Rome 2, flank charges don't really ever seem to work out so well. You'd think they would be devastating, but they are not. These Tarantine Cav, just kind of luring these heavy horse away, though they could probably finish them off if they face them head on. Going to go up against his Oathsworn with an Axe Warrior and follow up with another Massilian Hoplite. We are finishing off his heavy horse over here with a rear charge from the Skirmish Cav and Massilian Cavalry support. This is interesting though, because the Boii are just a better faction than the Massilia. Now I'm not gloating or anything here, but the fact that I was able to do secondary engagements and kind of tire different units out and match the right unit against the right unit. For example, he left his cavalry in here for a little bit too long against a couple of units that do have bonuses versus large. So they were not being used to their full potential. They could have been used in a different way to better effect. But it looks like my general is going to finish off this Sword Follower. Massilian Hoplites again just showing their worth. He is going to throw in his Sword Follower. I have got my Skirmisher Cav on the case again, up against his Levy Freeman and trying to chase off his Celtic Bowman. Looks like my Tarantine Cav did finish off the heavy horse that was over there on that flank. And you're probably going to see me destroy these units. So Levy Freeman against Levy Free, 119 against 89. Though I do have support in the form of a couple of cavalry units, so I do have the Cav or mobility advantage in the rest of this match here. So it looks like I'm trying to silence his Celtic Bowmen, because if they survive to the late game, they'll be pretty punishing. They will be able to destroy a lot of my units. So very crucial that I get these Celtic Bowmen off the field. So the rest of my cavalry, looks like they're just going to run around and mop them up. Only got... Oh no, this unit's got... Oh no, 7 Massilian Cav there. They'll probably still be able to defeat that Celtic Bowman there. Oathsworn duking it out with a couple of my different units. And they're going to do very well. My Massilian Hoplites forming up a nice little anvil for this Axe Warrior to grind upon. But he is getting some fairly nice rear shots with his Celtic Bowman into the back of my Massilian Hoplites. And they are definitely getting kills there. He did manage to destroy my... Oh, he managed to destroy my Massilian Cav there with his Celtic Bowman. So good move. But I am still struggling to defeat his Oathsworn. Now, the Oathsworn are the reason that the Boii are so... They're always just so difficult to beat. These units are near to perfect. They have a lot of bonuses like Shield Wall. They have Discipline. They have Encourage. They've got Headhunt. They have an amazing melee attack and weapon damage. Charge bonus is great. Armor, health, you name it. Everything is great. They are quite expensive, but they're at the same time, if used right, they can be fairly cost effective. And it's fairly easy to use a unit like Oathsworn cost effectively. Especially against a faction like Massilia, where all I'm bringing are Hoplites and the like. So he did manage to destroy, look at this Oathsworn here, double XP chevrons, 178 kills. My own Massilian Hoplite up to 86 kills. Though I'm going to have to try and, I'm popping Battle Rhythm at the moment, just to try and hold out for a little bit longer, maybe get some extra kills there. I'm going to get a nice little rear charge in here with my Massilian Cav. Kind of bugged out at the last second though, which is a bit unfortunate, so I'm going to have to pull out. Over on the other flank, we're managing to finish off that O-Sworn. But it looks like it's GG. I've lost, just about lost my general here. So I'm going to pop second wind, see if I can keep him in the game. But it looks like it's a little bit too late. Yeah, it looks like it's a little bit too late here. We get a nice rear charge into this O-Sworn, getting a couple of kills. These Massilian Cav are only medium melee Cav. Also the Tarantine Cav, medium melee, or medium missile. So yeah, good game from my opponent there. Inbound, good player. We played a couple actually. The Massilian Hoplite is getting lots of kills. That's not really something that you see a whole lot in Total War Rome 2. Hoplite is getting kills. But it's very nice to kind of use these guys as a second line and mop up any weakened units. So using my Celtic Warriors, I was able to weaken a couple of these sword followers and then follow up with my Massilian Hoplites and finish them off. And it looks like Levy Freeman did a pretty good job at mopping up any enemy. I think it was mostly cavalry they were chasing after. And also my Massilian Cavalry just being a nuisance, I suppose. Skirmisher Cav, Tarantine Cav getting 213 kills for almost no losses. I didn't actually watch a whole lot of what they were doing, but I think a lot of those kills were on heavy horse there as well. So fairly good use of Tarantine Cav. I'm feeling like these units are very good. I'm probably going to be bringing a lot more of those ones into battle with me. Even though they are medium, they do have a shield, which means they have a nice missile block chance. So up against any enemy horse archers, they can actually do quite well. And they're not heaps expensive either. So yeah, thanks for the game, Inbound. Jujubear signing out. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.